I'm going to be sharing some of my expenses living in Yangon, expenses that you may have as well. If you already live here, you are planning to move, or if you are just curious about the expenses of living here. This video may help you to find out the expenses of someone living in Yangon, but just keep in mind, everyone has own expenses and some people may spend more than others. 700 US dollars seems like a reasonable number. At least for most of the people that I've spoke to, that's probably a good base to start with. And this is the only time that I'm going to be mentioning dollars in this video. For the rest, I'm just going to speak chats. If you don't know how much chats is, it's just like for $1 you have 4,400 chats. Sometimes more, sometimes less. I'm going to be dividing this video into categories, so if you want to watch some topics but not others, you can just jump straight on what you want to watch. But there is something that I'm going to miss in this video because I know nothing about, which is mortgage or rent. I don't know nothing about that, so I'm not going to be talking about it. I'm going to ask anyone that knows anything about this topic to leave something in the comments below, because I don't know. If you can help someone else, please do so. First, I'm going to talk about the utility bills, which can be the most expensive here, without counting for the rent, obviously. But the utility bill is quite unique. The cheaper of them all is water. That is the cheapest, and it doesn't change much during the months. But then we have electricity and, for some case, generator. Not everyone has a generator, but it costs a lot. But for the electricity, it's quite cheap. I think it's about 300 chats for every unit, which is not bad, to be honest. It's pretty good. But as you know, there is no electricity all the time here. At the moment, I think we're running on 4 hours of electricity and 8 hours no electricity, and then 4 hours and then 8 hours, always like that, which is basically 8 hours of electricity per day, which is not good. With that said, for most of the time, we are using generator, and this is what makes it expensive. The generator cost is about 10 times more than the electricity. We pay about 3,000 chats, which is mad. And I tell you, on the summer, that's a problem. The utility bill can go towards 1 million. Anyway, on the normal month, if we don't have any power cut, which I don't think it has happened since I came here, you would just probably pay like 250 chats per month. As I said, it will depend on you, depends on what you use, if you have AC, if you have generator. So this is something that you have to look on. The second thing I want to talk about is transportation. Transportation can be cheap, especially if you use public transport like bus or train. But there is a lot of downsides of using it, especially during the peak hours. They are packed, and many people told me already about pickpockets, so it's something to watch, to keep your eyes open and take care of yourself. Although I use bus sometimes, I don't use it a lot, and I try not to use it when it's crowded, just for safety. But to be honest, it's rarely empty. It's always like a good amount of people in the bus. So bus and train is the cheapest way. You can go anywhere for about 300 to 400 chats. Like in my case, if I want to go downtown, I can just walk about 10 minutes to the bus stop, pay 400 chats, get downtown, and that's all I have to pay. But if I get a crab, I'll have to pay about 12,000 chats. It's not too bad, but comparing with the bus is something. So think about it when deciding which transport do you want. And also, it's pretty hard to find out which bus you should get, because some of them, even the numbers is in Burmese, so it's not really easy for me or for foreigners to know exactly where to go. And I didn't yet find a good app to show me exactly where the bus is going. I actually have one app, but it's not that easy to work on. I can leave it here for you if you want to check it out, but be patient with it. That's all I have to say. With that said, what I use the most for transportation here is Grab. That was the app recommended to me when I arrived in Yangon. And until now, that's what I use. I tried some others, but I don't think there is any other app that works here. Maybe there will be another one like Ferry. I've seen some taxis with that name on, new taxis, so it's probably coming soon. By the way, Grab is a good way to move around in Yangon, but also they do food delivery. And I'm going to be making a video soon, probably, where I compare Foodpanda and Grab Food to see which one is best for delivery. Make sure to subscribe for that. I always use Grab because the less apps I have, the better. So if I use the Grab for taxi, I can use it for food delivery. I don't have to install Foodpanda, but if it's better, I may just give it a try. Anyway, for transportation, I think we spend at least 200,000 a month. Anyway, as well, that depends if we are going somewhere, if we're not going, if we are staying at home most of the time during the month, or if we're doing many things during the month. It very depends. It's not like a round number for every single month. Shopping. This is a big one for us because we eat most of the meals at home. I like to eat at home. I go outside sometimes, but I prefer eat at home, at least most of the times. We buy a lot from Macro at the end of the month or at the beginning of the month, and then we have food enough for the rest of the month. So we can keep them in the freezer or in the fridge for the rest of the month. We still have to buy every week, like vegetables, fruits, and other things that we cannot hold for long or cannot go in the freezer, but usually Macro is for the big things. After we use City Mall, if we want everything delivered at home, especially in the next hour or 2 hours or maybe on the next day. We use that when we need something soon or maybe just because the things that we brought from Macro is running low. So that's the two main things. They are online, they deliver at home. Macro and City Mall is great for that. But sometimes we also go to the shop. And when we go to the shop, we usually choose Ocean or City Mart. It's cheap. I think it's the cheapest place where you can go, and the quality is not so bad. Not just that, but we also go to street markets or any other local markets around our house, or even when we are out and about, if we see something in the local market, we just buy them, like fruits and vegetables mostly. We usually don't buy meat or fish in the local markets. We just prefer the delivered one, which is probably more safe as well. So for groceries shopping, usually we have 500,000 to 600,000, and that can easily go up. Also depends on what do we eat the most on that month. So pet, we have a dog, which is Sparkle. I don't know if you know her, if you watched her before in this channel. He's a Pomeranian, and it's quite cheap to have a dog here, actually. The dog was offered, so we didn't have to pay for the dog, but we mainly pay for food and vet, which is cheap, actually. I think the food for the dog is just like 50,000 per month, something like that. Depends on the food. There is cheaper food, and then there is more expensive food, and she's like food picker, so we have not even found a good one that she loves yet. But yeah, that's what we spend on food. And then we have vets as well. In average, we pay like 25,000 every time we go there, and that's it. So I think for the dog, we spend like 75 per month. That is if we go to the vet every month, which we don't, so we spend even less than that. Now let's talk about eating out. Eating out is something that I don't do a lot. As I said, I prefer to eat at home, but I have a wife, so she likes to eat out. That means we have to eat out sometimes. And I also like local food, and that's the only way to eat it, because I don't know how to cook it myself, right? Unless if I ask for takeaway, then that we are not eating out, we're eating at home. But even though if I count takeaways on this, we probably just spend like 20,000 on takeaway per month, because we don't eat a lot of takeaway. And most of the takeaway that we get is from Crab, as I said before. But there is also Food Panda. Just choose what's the best for you. Many people say it's Food Panda, so I'm not gonna even talk about it because I have no idea. So I just used one so far. It's working well, so I'm not gonna be telling you which one is best. For eating out, it depends on where you go, obviously. If you go to the tea house next door, we can go 3 of us and pay only 40,000 chats for 3 people. But if you go to a Western restaurant or something like that, for 3 of us, we're gonna be paying like 300,000 probably. Something about that for 3 people. Keep that in mind. For eating out, it depends obviously on where you go and how many times you go and what you eat there. If you're going to a tea house by yourself, you can probably go there every single day and at the end of the month just spend 300,000. But if you're going to a Western restaurant and just for one meal, you can pay 300,000 for just that one meal. So it depends on you where you go. I would say 300,000 would be enough for a full month. But for us, sometimes we don't even go out. So during the month, we don't spend nothing eating out. And the last one, entertainment. I don't do much for entertainment, to be honest, but I think it's quite cheap. Depends on where you go. All the places that I go, it feels like it's cheap, but maybe I just didn't go to anything that is expensive yet. We mainly go to places for my daughter, which is not expensive and it's quite nice. For myself, I play tennis. I'm learning. Every lesson is about 70,000 chats, which is not too bad, actually. I'll probably not be able to do it every day or every week, but I think we can agree that tennis is expensive itself. 70,000 is not too bad considering that. I think that's the most important thing that I wanted to say. Let me know if I forgot something and I'll surely reply to you. Anyway, be careful when exchanging money. I made a video on scammers if you want to watch it. That's all I have for the video. If I forgot something or there is something else you want to know, let me know. I will reply to your comments. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.